It's Monday, September 14, 2020. Doing my tea shop for this week, and I just wanted to make a few comments about recently seeing Ty Turner and Chase Ross bickering videos over this new book that came out. It just doesn't acknowledge the reality of a trans man. So it interviews Chase Ross and it quotes a lot of trans male YouTubers. Ty Turner was in it. Both of them weren't asked permission. Ty didn't give permission to be in the book, and from what I can understand from Chase's video, he wasn't asked. He was asked to be interviewed. He interviewed. I think said he was told he was going to be put in a book and published, but it seems he wasn't given a copy to proofread, and he's not clear in the video if he was given a copy or not. He seems more defensive in the video about having a conversation with Ty Turner. He put out a video the day before, gives the receipts, like shows his text messages, and is very defensive about trying to contact Ty, but there's a number of scenarios within what he's saying where you can really punch holes through it. So I don't know who to believe. I haven't met either person personally or DM'd with them personally. I know of them and following more Ty Turner's channel in the past year than Chase Ross since his previous controversy involving Aaron and Sweeney. I stopped watching Chase's channel so much. Aaron accused Chase of being abusive towards him and taking money from him. So I then put out a video reading Chase's apology where I was feeling empathetic towards Chase because he was being very nice to Aaron and apologizing, and because in my own experience I've never experienced that kind of thing, so it was an emotional thing for me to see personally because I don't have a social life, basically. So to see somebody to care about somebody else in that way, I'm very sensitive to that, to the point of, you can see in my other videos where I kind of look back upon reading my letter from my dad, and I get emotional where he says that he loves me, and that's only because he never says that. So when you hear it the one time in your whole life, of course it affects you, but it doesn't forgive the fact that abuse took place. So and it doesn't forgive the fact of not addressing it. It doesn't take the place of that. So I feel in Chase's defensive, here's my text messages, I sent him a message this day, he responded that day, I responded this day, he responded that day, doesn't excuse the fact that when they had finally agreed on a date in, I think it was November 2019, Chase then says that nothing happened. Well, it's your fault, Chase. You didn't call him. Like, you can't excuse the fact of your own behavior. If there was a plan to meet and you didn't respond, it's your fault. Same as I came out to my dad as trans. He didn't. His response, actually, he responded saying, "You'll always be my little girl," and dead naming me, and then went on to complain about his own difficulties in life. So that, in my mind, doesn't excuse the fact that you did not, my father did not address how he felt about my transition, or ask me questions about how I felt about my transition. Same as Chase didn't address the fact that he didn't call Ty. He didn't pursue it. It seems like he made an attempt and then didn't do anything, you know, like you don't set up a date with your girlfriend and then stay home and play video games and drink. You know, that's your choice to not follow through, not do anything, and that's, I see it as a form of abuse. It's a neglect abuse. And it doesn't mean because it's not doing anything that it's okay or somehow a little less abusive. It's still abuse when you don't do anything. It's a neglect abuse, and it's just as abusive as forceful in-your-face abuse or aggressive abuse or assault abuse. It's the same thing. It has the same hurt and the same intention of hurt. It causes the same pain to others. Like the physical and the mental, like it's, you can hurt somebody mentally and it will take longer to recover than a physical assault. So that form of abuse, they're equally as hurtful, but you know, it's the length of time of recovery of mental abuse makes it's obvious like it hurts longer. So and especially in situations where systemically trans people are oppressed, where they can't access healthcare or mental health care because of their income, because systemically they are put into lower paid jobs or not acknowledged for their postgraduate degrees and education and training. That, you know, you could have 10 years of training and numerous postgraduate degrees and specialty licenses and certificates and still not get hired because you're queer or you're trans or you're non-binary. And then what that means is you can't ever heal from emotional abuse from friends, relatives, partners, ex-wives, etc., etc. Because you can't afford to pay for it. And then you go on these long waiting lists of 2 to 3 years and you don't get a call back. And why is that? Well, because the receptionist is transphobic. It's still the same person working there, so you can't ever have your stuff processed, have access. You can't ever see the counselor, you can never get a call back. You're pushed to the side constantly because there's somebody else who's more able-bodied, more white, more cisgendered, more straight, more, you know, attractive, more generically heterogeneous than you are. So I just feel it's really a shame that we have this internal bickering amongst the trans community that puts us all down when there's people publishing books about us saying we're still women. Do I look like a woman? No, I don't think so. So to like have this back and forth, like, well, he didn't call me, he didn't text me, he didn't, that's fucking bullshit, like, for real. Pick up the phone and pick it up every day until you get a hold of the person. And if you don't, you're lazy as F. Like, we have common goals and enemies to disprove, to prove us wrong, that we can come together and work against. Can we just fight the transphobia that's there? I mean, changing your actions because image of a trans person is transphobia. And this bickering between ourselves of what is this, what does this really mean, what's that really mean, and oh, I did try it, and I didn't try, and you did this, and you did that, like, it's all fucking bullshit. It's, like, we should be marching in the streets against this fucking book, like, that's pure hate that was published, like, what was this publishing house? Why aren't we signing a petition against this publishing house to be shut down? To go to Human Rights Commission? Like, what's our amendments here? Like, is it sex, creed, religion, gender identities? Come on. So that's all I have to say about that big waste of time. Which is another 15-minute waste of time for you, sorry. But if somebody is able, like maybe they can put out a petition against the publishing house and against this person to have this publication withdrawn from the shelves. That's what we should really be working on. Because it's not legal to, I don't think Ty signed anything legally binding saying that she could publish his name, and I don't think any of these other YouTubers did either, so we should all come together and fight them legally and be reimbursed financially for the publication of this book. And I'm sure there's a lawyer out there listening who is interested in human rights cases, trans rights cases, hopefully a trans lawyer, hopefully a trans woman of color who will take on this case and take it to Congress. And when I'm saying Congress, I'm assuming it was published in the States. Maybe it was Canadian because Chase is Canadian, I'm Canadian. He was interviewed in Canada. I wasn't interviewed about the book, and I don't want to see if my name is mentioned in it, so I'm not going to Google it or give them any kind of leverage that way. So yeah, so if you have any thoughts, like, leave them in the comments below, and give me a thumbs up or thumbs down, subscribe, check out my Patreon and Instagram, all that stuff, Twitter, whatever. Follow me. And next will be my t-shirt if you don't want to see that. Click away, I do an in-depth description of my prescription. And yeah, have a great week till next time. Okay, here we have my tea. Let's focus on that. Running a little low. Still having the same difficulty as I requested a blood work to be done. And sent to the nearest clinic I wanted to do it at. But just still no response, so I don't know what's going on with them. I think today is a holiday. It's the 14th, so it's like maybe Labor Day weekend. Still not so aware, but some places are closed. I tried to buy some equipment today, but they weren't open. So I might have to call on Tuesday. Luckily they do have some kind of, oh, I should. Before I do that, I always forget to alcohol swab the top with the bottle, which can get dirty or debris. And I'm just gonna swab the needle a little bit because it touched. But yeah, the top can get something on it, and because this is going into the body, you don't want to have so yeah, I'm just going to pass the marker a little bit, squirt out that hair. Sure, the 1/2 mark, there we go, and then Take that out, and it just seals back up like that. So it's not really focusing, but... And then I just draw back a little bit. To get the solution out of there, because this part comes off. Like so. And then I take my tattoo. Draw that on there. Sometimes they're tricky to take off, and then I push a plunger up a little bit to get the air out of that part there, and then all the way to the little drop comes out of there. So the tip. And then next is the injection part. So if you don't want to see that, make sure you click away. But first, subscribe and like, and go to my Patreon and donate. Goes in the upper thirds. And this is kind of the mess you're left with. So these tips can come off. And where's the other one? There's the other one. And I take my disposable bin. And I take them out of the plastic sheath and then throw that away separately to the recycling. Your tips can stay in there. Make sure the latch is closed so it's childproof. And then that can be put back away. I'll put my bottle back into there. That can go back away. I didn't use one of those. It can go into the container with all my stuff, and then this is all just garbage that can be thrown away. Great. Have a great week. Subscribe, like my video, and leave me a comment if you have any questions.